Okay, 17 days till Election Day officially. Uh, really, with the politicians, they're just chugging along and the same story. I think they're all getting tired, Trump and Harris. I mean, they're pushing it, they're going all over, they're going to interviews, rallies, dinners, and stuff, so, they're busy. And it's the same story, nothing much has changed. Uh, I don't know what's going on with the wars. I haven't heard much, but I do know one thing. On Friday, the precious metals took a big jump. Okay, gold went up to 2,700 and some odd dollars. It closed, and silver jumped $2 in one day to 33.65 or something. I'm not quite sure, but it was a huge jump for the precious metals. That kind of makes you nervous, but we'll see what happens when next week starts. Now, early voting. I mentioned it the other day. When I think in Georgia it started on this last Tuesday, and here in North Carolina, the early voting started on Thursday. And when I went to the post office that morning around 10, there was a significant line outside where I would go. It's the community center in the nearest town. And there was a substantial line there. So I guess both states, after a few days, set records for the number of people who voted on the first day of early voting. It was the largest turnouts that they've seen in Georgia, and I believe it's the same here in North Carolina. So I went and voted early today, Saturday. Me and my wife decided we'd go down to the center, community center, and do that. And just so you know, to prove it, I got my little sticker. So we go down, we had breakfast, we're gonna go grocery shopping. So I said, let's stop by and vote in case there's a crowd there. So when we went there, we've done this before. We get to the center, and there was a line of people from the door to the curb, which, the last time we went, last elections, we just kind of went in there and got done with it pretty quick. But there was a line, so you had to wait. So we're sitting there waiting, and the process is going. And, it's no big deal, get in. And of course, there were 4 people in front of us. One guy, there was a young woman, and then after a few more people, there was an elderly couple just before me and my wife. And I didn't notice. They were older than me. But my wife noticed they were all dressed in blue. Okay, and they're also the only ones wearing masks, which in this state it's kind of against the law to do that, but they were wearing masks anyway. And when we were going in line, they wanted to kind of move the line along, and they said, no, we don't feel comfortable getting close to people towards the door because, they didn't want to catch the plague or anything. So how the process works here is you go to the line, you go to a desk, there were 3 of them, and the person there goes, may I please see your ID, which my driver's license. So I hand my driver's license to the gentleman, he takes it, he puts it on his little laptop computer there, and he goes, can you tell me your name and address? Yeah, I got to see if I memorized that. So I told him my name and address, and he looks it up, it's got my picture on there, so I'm in the public records of where I live, how much my taxes are, and all this other fun crap, and it does, have me listed as a registered voter, okay? So once he verifies that, finds me in the rolls. They used to have the paper ones where they'd go down the list and then you'd have to sign on the paper book, but they don't do that anymore. So he prints a sheet of paper and says, read this section and then sign this. And on that section there's a couple statements in the boxes are checked. That I am a citizen of the United States, I am over 18 years old, and that I am aware that committing fraud or any type of voting fraud is a criminal offense. And I signed the paper, and he goes, okay, great. So he scans that paper, and he takes a ballot. He scans the ballot. You go to a table, little cubicle table. In my state, they just have blocks where they have the names, whatever the position is, because there was all kinds of stuff, senators and congressmen, and you have a little oval, kind of like a multiple choice test. And you look at the name of the candidate and you just take a pen and fill the oval in. That's it. You go through the ballot, fill out all you want to or don't want to, and there's names, you can write in names. And when you're done, you just take the thing, stick it in this machine, it sucks it in there, reads that, and then your vote is cast. Pretty simple process. But of course, with our luck, the people in front of us had issues. One guy goes in, goes through, I'm watching him, it's all glass, he goes through the line, goes and starts filling out his ballot. And one girl, it was 3 or 4 people ahead of us, she's standing there at the first position, and this is going on and on. She ain't got no ID or something, can't identify herself. So they got an issue there, she's on the phone, I guess she didn't have a driver's license or something, or green card or some weird, I don't know. But she's standing there with this woman for God knows how long, about 15 minutes. Before they get past the identification part. And the 2 older people go up, go through, and they had an issue about their identification. And my wife overheard them, they're saying, well, we've never voted here before or something, and there was something about who they were and something else. And then by the time they get through the process and get a ballot, they go to start voting on the ballot, and the one guy comes running over and says, I don't understand if I filled this out right or something, voted wrong or something. And I'm like, what in God's name? So now I'm waiting even longer. And there's a whole commotion. And then we got 3 of these people get up, and the older gentleman and his wife, they said, did I fill this out right? Did I vote right? And there was something that, like I said, you go to the damn name and you fill the thing in. How can you make a mistake? So there's this commotion with 3 of these people, and they got to stop everything, and they're looking at a ballot, they're looking at his ballot, and that. And the one guy goes, did I do this right? And he goes, yeah, you did it right. And the one guy, well, I'm going to go online and check. Now, how you can do that, or what the hell he's talking about, I have no idea, because I always thought that your vote was secret or unanimous, or they don't know, or not unanimous. They shouldn't be able to tell who you voted for. Okay, that's the whole idea. Okay, anonymous. It's supposed to be anonymous, I'm sorry. So they should know it's you that voted. Okay, they just count the votes. The votes are a confidential document. This guy, well, I'm going to go online and check. So we go through this rigmarole. I got to change a battery here. Oh, sorry about that. I had to change a battery. Kind of broke my train of thought, but so yeah, there was a tad bit of confusion, and it kind of did stop well, it did stop everything until they sorted out their problems and whatever they were saying about the ballots. I mean, the whole process is pretty simple. I don't see how you don't understand or think you did it wrong. You know, unless these individuals had moved in from another state or something recently, which could have happened. I don't know. But like I said, the process is pretty simple. But it was amazing because then once we got done, like I said, I went through the process, voted, and when we went outside, the line was considerably longer. It was kind of, right out to the curb and flowing, pretty simple there. I'd say 9:30 in the morning, because the polls do close. They're open from 8 till 3 in the afternoon. And when we got outside, there was a considerably longer line of people. It started going down around the sidewalk and down a ways. So there was an awful lot of people that turned out. And my wife was asking the poll watchers, were you busy today? And she goes, well, there's a constant flow of people, but she goes, we were extremely busy Thursday and Friday. She goes, the last 2 days there were an awful lot of people. And I give those people credit that are down there, the poll watchers and the people recording the information. It's probably not a fun job, but I give them credit. So like I said, go out and vote. Just don't be confused. Okay, and make sure, I don't know, some states don't require an ID or whatever. And there was something on the ballot that it did ask a state constitutional, changing the state constitutional amendment, that you have to be 18 years old, a proper citizen or something to vote. And, that they said, are you for that or against it? And, were they going to let grade school children vote and people who have no ID or are not citizens? Okay. I don't know. That was a curious one. But that's my experience there. And we just keep our fingers crossed and hope it kind of goes smoothly until the actual election day, 17 days from now. Hopefully things will stay stable and calm, and we can all just start going about our business again. All right. Hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned.